Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your ITFC fan match reaction show. It is finished Leeds United 4, Ipswich Town 0. Town taking a thumping, and we really want to hear from you guys and girls this afternoon. So get active, get involved. We have a live chat for you to put a comment into. I've just dropped the link. Should you so wish to come on the platform and have your say, the platform that's for the fans, by the fans. And if you're watching on catch up, FTA, comment for the algorithm, like, subscribe, all of that jazz. Ben Lee says that can see why no one picked up Axel in the summer. A bad game. Steve Howard, very bad day at the office. Move on to Boxing Day. No Christmas turkey for the squad. Kel said this was the game that it was. Men versus boys. Mike Baker, we're always going to lose games. It's the way we've lost that's disappointed me. Still 7 clear. We move on. This result doesn't define our season. Chris is in from New Zealand, Queenstown. Not the result Chris wanted or any of us wanted. Bounce back against Leicester. David Jones is banking for a much better team. Andy Barrow, one of our YouTube members. I'm so proud of our team. Fighting it out from 11th in League One against 3 teams relegated from the Premier League. Absolutely. It is 2:30, so there's still plenty of time to get active in the match bingo. We are partnered with Match Bingo, win cash prizes, and support the East Anglian Air Ambulance at the same time. Information is on the screen. Also, how you get involved. I've got my bingo cards ready for this afternoon. Hopefully, I can turn what has been an absolutely miserable lunchtime into an exciting afternoon of possibly winning money and supporting the East Anglian Air Ambulance. Be gamble aware. Over 18s only. Links in the chat. Right. First of all, Matt Phillips, welcome in. Yeah, I'm smiling on the outside. I'm dying on the inside. Leeds connection, Leeds family connections. It's not the result we wanted, but not the performance we wanted. How do you see it from your manor in Chelmsford?
I'm a bit speechless, to be honest. Were we rabbit in headlights? 35,000, 36,000 there at Leeds United. We concede the goal. It just all went. It was, as someone said earlier, it was a bad day at the office. And look, these do happen, but by considerable distance, this is the worst performance under McKenna in the 2 years that he's been at the helm. But look, we've had a lot of highs, haven't we? Look, as I said last week, let's not define our season by playing Norwich City twice, and let's not define what's been a really good season by 90 minutes today. So it's just a bit annoying we've got Leicester on the horizon. But look, we've been embarrassed, we've been humiliated, and we will look to bounce back against Leicester on Boxing Day. And, we've got no choice. We're still second. We're still 7 points clear. Could be 4 points clear but Boxing Day because Leeds will obviously play before us, as will Southampton, I think. I don't know what else to say, to be honest with you.
That gap was always going to sort of reduce, though, wasn't it? Because we've had a fantastic run of form. Scintillating, great season. But you always had to feel perhaps that gap would shrink. It wouldn't always be 10 points. Had a great chance to go 13 points, but it wasn't to be. And today, someone said in the chat there, men versus boys. I'm not quite sure men versus boys, but certainly League One promoted side versus ex-Premier League side. You can really see the difference in the quality between the Premier League and what we're used to dealing with.
Yeah, I don't agree with the men versus boys thing. That's disrespectful to what we've done already this season. I mean, bloody hell. Before kickoff, we were 10 points ahead of this ex-Premier League side.
Absolutely, yeah.
Who knows? By the end of December, we still could be. But they were very good. They were very good, Leeds. Let's not take anything away from them. I thought they were a very good side, very exciting. They dominated down the flanks, which kind of left Morsey and Luongo redundant, as you said, Martin, when we were chatting earlier. Barely knew they was on the pitch. But, for all the dominance, one goal was a penalty and one was an own goal. But look, let's not complain. They were worthy of their win. But as I said earlier, by far the worst performance under McKenna. Very disappointing for all the supporters. But look, that's the chance you take, innit? You're on Sky 12:30. You got to get on the bus at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's a long way up there. It's the chance you take in football.
You're very deflated. How did you see Axel's performance? Because obviously there's a comment in the chat from Ben in regards to how he could see only picked him up in the summer, not his best game. I've never quite bought into the Axel Tuanzebe hype, the way people have sort of made him to be the best centre half we have at the football club. I still think that's Luke Wolfenden, but I'm in the minority, I know. How did you see his performance today?
Yeah, look, he had some good spells on the ball, but by the same token, though, he was culpable for the fourth goal. But don't be rating Axel Tuanzebe off one game. You know, I can see why no one picked him up in the summer.
I've got my words. They're Ben words. They're Ben's words.
I just think that's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. Mostly people have been saying he's been good, but you know, with a heavy defeat on television that's disappointed everyone, people will start pointing fingers at players. But I think he's still a good player. By the way, he's been what that rumor we mentioned last week has turned out to be true. He's been named in the long squad for DR Congo. For the African Cup of Nations. So I thought someone was winding me up, but it was actually correct. I doubt he will go. He won't have the match fitness to go, I don't think. But I would certainly like to know the reasoning behind Wolfenden coming out the side away from home for Tuanzebe to come in. Local media don't seem to ask that question. Have you seen the local media ask that question? Why they keep rotating that defence round?
No, but they know I'd have to read what they put out, and I'm guilty. I don't.
But on the flip side, that coin, Leeds fans were saying that Parker doesn't rotate his team around enough. This was like their third or fourth unchanged side, I think. But they were well worthy of the win today, and fair play to them. Very good.
Oh, they were far superior. The first goal, before I go to more comments, we've got Coxie waiting, then we're going to bring Mike Brown in. The first goal, was it a foul for you on Chaplin? And also the second goal, was it a foul on Davis? How did you see those two flashpoint incidences?
Yeah, I certainly think he was a foul on Chaplin. It was probably a soft foul. I mean, it's not like taking him out or anything, but he certainly had hands on and pushed him to the floor in front of the referee. So, yeah. And then McKenna was pissed by that as well because he was in the ear of the fourth official. And of course, Sod's law dictates that they go down, get the corner. And what happens? They score from the corner. It's a very good save by Haladki, by the way. Point blank.
Yeah, really good save.
Tuanzebe probably wasn't quick enough off the mark. What can you bloody do? I mean, look, he's pushed the ball out. He's done the best he can, Haladki. He's pushed the ball out into the 6-yard box and the Leeds fellow was there. And what was the other question? The Davis one?
The Davis one for the second goal, where it's Davis is tackled in from behind by, I want to say Gray, but I could be wrong there. And then they break and they score the goal.
Yeah, for me, they didn't do enough on Gray. I mean, bloody hell, 17-year-old, been playing in midfield, and they said on the Sky commentary he came through the ranks as a right back. I would have stuck that tackle Broadhead done on him in the second half. I'd have stuck that on him early doors. You know, you're a 17-year-old kid, right? And we're second in the table. You know, he should have known he was in the game. Neither Davis or Broadhead did anything against him. That was really disappointing. The own goal was a joke, really. I mean, look, that Somerville's decent, isn't he? And he's got through the box. He's put the cross in. All of Burgess's weight is on his right-hand side. So he dangles the leg. It goes through the leg, hits Davis. He's kind of, as the Andy Hinchcliffe said on the Leeds on the commentary for Sky, you know, he's facing the goal and it's gone in. So look, we've not helped ourselves there. Everything that could have gone tits up did
go to, yeah, absolutely. You mentioned Gray there, and it's a good point. But equally, that's again looking at January, an area I'm looking to identify, because Broadhead, as you know, love him, needle mover. But we haven't got that pace that you could perhaps say, you know what, today, against a 17-year-old lad, I'm going to put somebody with pace who's going to say, do you know what, let's see how good you are one-on-one, knock it past you and go. We've got that on the right, potentially, with Burns and Amari.
Yeah.
On the left, if you don't have Broadhead, it's Harness. And that's very much a like for like, right, in terms of pace and dynamic running.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Maybe that will be a position they will have a look at. And certainly someone who can put a decent cross in from the left. I mean, look, Leaf does do that, but he didn't get a sniff today. I mean, look, that Ken Seamer looked a good player at Watford, didn't he? Could put the ball on a sixpence on the left-hand side. But yeah, maybe someone of that ilk, look, Watford ain't going to send him to us, but someone of that ilk will be someone to look at for certain. But I'm not going to be I don't want to be too judgmental of everybody because they've all had really good seasons, and I don't think it should be defined by one incredibly poor game from management.
You're not being judgmental, Matt, to say you'd like different clubs in your bag at different moments of a game, of a season, of an opportunity. You know, you can never have too many different ways of beating a team, you know, and we've got that down the right. I'd like to see it added to the left. Whether it does in the window, we don't know. Steve Wright said transfer budget needs to be doubled to get quality into this squad, because I fear this defeat may be a dent in our confidence. Worried about the Leicester game going at the same way. He says absolutely effing shite. Not one player played well. Leeds better than us. Simple as that. Craig, never seen us give the ball away so much in the middle of a park. Quality definitely prevailed today. They looked bang up for it. Well done, Leeds. Coxie, Craig Holland there. Never seen us give the ball away as much in the middle of the park. How did you see the two midfield players today? Captain Morsey and Massimo.
Bonjour Triggles, how are we doing? Yeah, well, we were just all over the park, and it wasn't this that we were just outplayed. You can't say it wasn't just Morsey and Luongo. It's. I'm not used to it. Well, we are not used to this feeling. We haven't. We used to have this feeling almost every other week under previous regimes, but this is without doubt McKenna's low point. So. If we don't get anything out of Leicester, it'll be see how Mr. McKenna takes us forward. I think we will get something out of Leicester. I think it'll be a narrow win for us. If not a draw, but today we, I think I'm going to go along the lines of Leeds and Farker. They absolutely, the tactics were spot on. How they played us. The dreaded early goal again went against us. You sort of and Sky were ramping that one up, so you knew that was going to happen. But
yeah, absolutely. The connection's not too great. I'm going to drop you out, Foxy, and bring you back in because your connection's not too great, or it certainly isn't my end. But he's right there. Early goal. All of the things we said on the Wednesday show about fast start, keeping it tight. Get the atmosphere working in your favour because you're keeping it tight. They're starting to go from euphoria to a come on, Leeds. All goes out the window because you concede yet again inside the first 15.
Yeah, Coxie was right. They did keep talking about that as a stat, didn't they? In the pre-match stuff. But yeah, I just would have tried. I don't know. I just would have targeted Gray a little bit more. Maybe we're just a bit much of a pure footballing team these days for that kind of thing, but certainly I'd have taken a 17.
We'll get near players first, Matt, to leave a mark on them.
Yeah, well, that's
that
true.
First half, we didn't get near enough as we should have done.
No, it'd be very interesting to see what McKenna says after the game. He'll be incredibly disappointed. You could see on his face how disappointed he was. But as Coxie says, these moments have been very few and far between under 100%. The American ownership and with Kieran McKenna. So listen, as Rich called me from Ellen Road. He was in the stands and he said, we're just going to have to suck it up. And, the same as we did with Norwich last week, we was disappointed we couldn't beat them there, albeit on a very good performance. And, we've been taken to school today by a very good Leeds team. But the season is 46 games. It's not one game. It's not two games. Our season ain't going to be defined between now and December, end of December.
Spot on. And 52 points halfway through the season. Every single Town fan would have taken it, bitten your hand off, and said you're mad if I said to you, I'll give it to you now in June or July of the summer.
We're still on track to equal or just become below the Reading record, which is 105, absolutely. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Finch's Rest Summit, architects of our own downfall, terrible defence for the first, and a nightmare day for the Leaf. Game was gone by half time. Yeah, if things weren't bad enough at half time, 3-0 down. Who do I see on my TV in the Sky Sports commentary studio? Oh, for fuck's sake.
Mick McCarthy.
Oh,
I mean, bloody hell.
I thought things could get any worse. I thought
I'd love for us to have gone there and for Kieran and just rammed it down his throat after he was so bitter about leaving us. He played incredibly boring football where people didn't really bother about going to Ipswich anymore. I remember there was about a run of 3 or 4 games where I didn't go. My dad thought I was ill or something. What's wrong with you? I just can't bear it. Even when we win games, I just couldn't bear it. Do you know what I mean? So, look, it's night and day with Kieran and McCarthy era. This is a much better era for us.
Absolutely, Steve. Right, we're unlucky in other matches now being put to the sword. Devastated. Thought we were better than that. Must have recruitment in change to up the quality. Bald and Blue today has proved we are punching above our weight. Leave it a good game at his old club. The January window will be so important. You don't agree? Let's see if our next contributor agrees. Bald and Blue, we are punching above our weight. Mike the Fishman, Coxie, you're back. I'll bring you back shortly. Mike,
hi Mike. Hiya.
Boys, they doing all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Bald and Blue there said we're punching above our weight. What are your thoughts on Bald and Blue's comment?
Well, I think all fans would probably agree we are punching a bit above our weight. But at the same time, we have got 52 points. Today's game, I was quite optimistic to start. I was looking at the previous games, but we were just not compact enough in that first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Leif Davis was camped outside their area when really he should have been just stay compact. Morsey, Luongo, sit back. Our back four, just sit back. Let them come on to us a little bit. You know, just be compact until they've got their bit out of their system. You know, their starts are out of the system. But this has been coming. This scoreline's been coming, and people say, "Oh, well, what do you mean?" I said, "Well, look at our goals we keep conceding. We're conceding us now, probably gone above 2 goals a game, but we are conceding. So we've been conceding far too many goals, and if we ain't scoring and we're still conceding, this is what happens today." You know, Leeds were. I mean, look, I was a bit critical of Ladkey for the first 2 goals, but having looked at them back, look, I think he should have come for that first one. I think if it had been Walton, he'd have probably come for that first one.
No chance.
Second one, not much he could do about it. Pulled off a good save. It looked a lot closer to him in the angle that I saw it than it really was. So look, you know, good save by Ladkey. Unlucky, you know, goes in the back of the net. Stonewall penalty, can't argue with that. Poor defending by Transibi for their 4th. But all in all, I felt the whole. I've been moaning about Wolfenden and about how slow he comes out of defence sometimes and how he gets support, doesn't get the ball forward quick enough and stuff like that. But the whole team did that today. You know, Chaplin was still trying to do his Hollywood flicks tricks and whatever, and they weren't coming off. We were second to the ball. I thought Morsey and Luongo were non-existent pretty much the whole game. Morsey probably better out of the 2, but again, look, I don't want to dig the players out too much because we've got 52 points, and we're still 7 points clear of Leeds. My biggest concern with the team is our leaking goals, and how many we're conceding. I think we have the most conceded goals, I think, in the top 8 of that league. You know, I think we've conceded more goals than any other team, top 8 of us. You know, so while we've been banging in goals, which is great, and we are we were top scorers, or what we still might be. But the reality is, if we don't shore up our defence and stop these stop these goals coming in at the start of near enough every bloody game, we are going to struggle. And all the hard work that we have achieved, and great work, and let's be honest, surprising work where we are in the league, now. It's going to be all undone. Now, people say, well, if we finish in the playoffs, that's where we expect it. But hang on a minute. This team has set the bar high. They set the bar. You don't just drop the bar because it suits the agenda. They're the ones that set the bar. They're the ones that set the bar at second in the league. We're 10 points clear of Leeds, and now we're 7 points clear. If we're doing that, we've got to maintain that. Now, I think January window is as important as it was to get out of League One. I think we need strength and depth, and get rid of some donkeys that are sat on that bench even today. And for me, there's still a good chance we can hold on to second. But Leicester, for me, will be a telling game. If we get a draw out of that, it'll be a good result. If we get a win, fantastic. But I was talking last night, and a mate of mine said, look, there's a good chance we could get 9 points out of them 3 games. He goes, I'll give you 50 quid if we do. Well, I've lost me 50 quid, haven't I?
Oh dear, Mike, you've lost your 50. Paul P, think to me, players were overall today. We're beating by the better team, but we made it so easy for them.
Yeah.
That is the disappointing aspect, isn't it? That it's a bit like the West Brom game in the essence of, you don't mind being beaten by a better team. It's when you do your basics that you do so well for 21 other games, Matt, that you just don't sort of. The 5-yard passes again today were sloppy.
Yeah, it's really frustrating, isn't it? I know, Mike, you've mentioned that before, haven't you? Why can't they just find a shirt with a short pass and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, I totally agree. And you could argue, I think Mike's right, you could argue the West Bromwich Albion game could have been the same scoreline. My namesake missed that one, didn't he, on the goal line? They could have had another couple. It is what it is. Like when you play against quality sides, well organised. Look, Farker, for his Norwich history, is a very good manager. He's always been a thorn in our side. He's never lost against us. You couple that with good players. That Perot, Rutter is something like 30 mil out of Hoffenheim. They paid 10-11 for Perot. you can make mistakes, you give them space in the box, and you get punished. And we got punished by a team that's not quite as offensively minded in West Bromwich Albion. But today we just couldn't live with it, could we? You're totally right.
No, like you said, the first minute, I think Dan James got ahead of Leif Davis, and we nearly conceded quite very within 2 minutes.
Yeah,
the writing on the wall was there, and I said to myself, my son messaged me, and he said, this is going to be a tough game. And I said, in my head, I'm thinking, well, if Leif Davis carries on, keeps sitting on their halfway line and in their half, we are going to get caught out because we all know Dan James is a quality play, rapid. Leeds are a good side. They've got some good players. They've obviously got ex-Premiership. They're an ex-Premiership team. Come down. They're in we say they're in a bit of form, but they've had chances to win games against Coventry, against Sunderland, and they didn't.
Yeah. Mm.
For me, when I saw them 2 games, I thought, you know what? If we play to our strengths, then there's a good chance we can beat them. But we didn't play to anything. Like you said, 5-yard passes just weren't being made.
No.
Hurst had rubber feet, football shoes on today. Football boots. Ball was bouncing off him all over. I think it was Hurst's worst game. I thought Chaplin was poor today. I thought the best player on the pitch was probably Broadhead. But again, I agree with you, Matt. He should have put one on. He should have put a bit of a nick on Archie. Their right back straight away. Within first 5-10 minutes of the game, put one on him. Let him know he's in the game.
Exactly.
He is quality. Oh my days, he is quality.
He's very good.
I feel sorry for Leif Davis because look, ex-Leeds, maybe he tried too hard and it all went sort of. But at the end of the day, you can't knock a player that's had 8 assists this year. Look, at the end of the day is I was more angry about the Norwich game than I am this game. So the end of the day is we've been Farker, tactical genius today, outthought McKenna, and McKenna's got to take this on the chin and say, look, maybe I didn't get it right today. The players didn't look like they were. They didn't look like they were up for it, but I don't never want to sit there and say our players are never up for it. But they didn't look at the races today. We looked like we were stuck in second gear rather than getting into third and fourth.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mike, before I let you go, 3-word review for today.
Simply bloody awful.
All right, mate. No worries. Have a good Christmas. Look after yourself. All the best. Matt, before I let you go and bring on Lee Anderson, Matt, I've got one last question for you. We've got a Leeds fan in the chat. And they say, unfortunate for you, you just can't beat Leeds because of your style. If you play expansive against Leeds, you get smashed. Low block is the way to go against us. Thoughts on that comment from the Leeds fan?
Well, I mean, look, he's seen Leeds more than I have. I mean, but this is the same Leeds side that couldn't beat Coventry last week. And, I agree with Mike.
Who did a low block, by the way? Took all their attacking players out of the lineup.
Yeah. But that's not... Because we did say, didn't we? Listen, we don't have to go there and win the game. We could just go away and park the bus and get a draw. But as we all rightly said, that's not our style. It's not what we do. And we live by the sword and die by the sword. And we've put teams to the sword. Unfortunately, we had it run through us today. But I'm certainly not going to judge anyone off the back of that performance. McKenna hasn't lost back-to-back games as an Ipswich Town manager.
No.
We've always been a little bit fortunate that when we've had bad results, we've had opposition that we've been able to handle fairly easily. Not easily, but comfortably. Leicester's not going to be one of those games. But packed ground, Boxing Day, under the lights at Portman Road. Look, Birmingham City scored 2 goals against Leicester in the week. Most certainly we can do the same as well. But we've got to get off to a good start. We've got to be at the races. We can't be in second gear like we did today. I'll give Leeds all the credit today, but Ipswich will know, and McKenna and the players will know that the performance has to go up a couple of rungs against Leicester City. Huge game.
We've got a fast start. We can't concede early. I feel like we say that every week.
Yeah, but we do keep seeing it, don't we? I mean, look, they eradicated it for a spell. Look, 6 or 7 games where we conceded the first goal tells you everything. I think we've eradicated it, and today it was just lined up that they would. Everything's gone wrong today. Everything's gone wrong today, and everything's gone right for Leeds, and they were a good team and fair play to them. You know what I mean?
Carl Brooks, unfortunately, never seen McKenna play a low block. It's not his style. Paul P. Leicester at least as fast on the break as Leeds, and McKenna is going to have to sort it out the back pretty quick.
We did score 3 against this Leeds side at Portman Road. We do score goals at Portman Road. And you could argue this result's been coming on the road a little bit. Like I say, West Brom could easily have been 4-0.
Oh, it could have been 3-0 certainly if Matty Phillips sorts his feet out.
Yeah.
Could have easily been 3. Chris James, if you won't change how they're playing, then why would they? It's been successful. And I'm a Leeds fan. All are welcome here. Get your comments in. Matt, before I let you go and bring on Lee Anderson, your 3-word review for this afternoon, please, sir.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Perfect. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, 1:30 for talking.
All right, see you then, yeah.
All the best. Quick change. One midfield motion for another. Lee Anderson to close the show. Lee, what are you feeling? What are you thinking this afternoon?
Oh, it was a proper battering, wasn't it? We didn't deserve anything from the game, nothing from the game at all. But if you go back to McKenna's points before the game, when he was talking about we needed to be 100% on it, and he's not wrong. He's not playing it down. You look for them player for player, they're probably better than us all over the pitch, player for player, almost. I mean, certainly on today, but and I think the Leeds fan that put the comment on is correct. We want to go toe to toe with these teams. You live by the sword, you die by the sword, and I just think that hindsight is a great thing, but we played open, expansive football against them, and we didn't play it, and we got done on the counter more than once, and so we left ourselves open, and we lick our wounds and move on to another game. But yeah, really, really disappointing. It was like the West Brom game. You were right as well. They sort of played a semi-block, but we had no space. There was no time for us to play football. We were overrunning midfield. The tactics are right. We couldn't get the ball into Chaplin. Chaplin was ineffective, but I can't remember who it was. Apadu was marking him, and every time Chaplin come forward for the ball in midfield, he was getting robbed every time. There's no space. They sat in and caught us on the counter, and that's how to play against us. Just simply the way to play against us. And when your full-backs are wide, I know Leif Davis played high up the pitch, and I take Mike's point, but we almost sort of looked like it was 3. I think Clark really came around a lot more and was a lot tighter in, so we almost had 3 at the back a lot of the time when Davis was up the pitch. But it does leave Burgess isolated in that gap. But the second goal summed it all up, really. I mean, that player, I don't know what he's worth, but he's more than we've probably paid for our whole entire squad. And we have to think that, we have to realise that that's there, and we're punching above our weight by a country mile in this 100%. League. With the players that we've got a great manager, we've got good players. We play to a system, but sometimes that system doesn't match up against another team, and we shouldn't change. I agree with Matt. We should stay the same. It's what's got us there, and sometimes you're going to get beat. Why change it? Be interested to see what happens on Boxing Day, because
that's the thing.
Leicester on the counter attack. If we don't take our A game going forward, I'll be amazed if we keep a clean sheet. On Boxing Day,
I can already probably tell you now we probably won't.
We'll need 2 goals. We'll need at least 2 goals.
It's not in our DNA, is it, to keep clean sheets? It's not. It's not something we do often, is it?
No, absolutely. But so be it. We're being entertained. Love the football that we're playing, but it just shows the frailties that we have with the open football that we play. That sometimes teams, we've sort of played in their hands a bit today. In that respect, with the forward players that they've got, it was the individual battles we lost on the counter attack that tells me that their players, are better than ours.
And if you break it down, Lee, as they so should be. Last year they were fighting relegation from the Premier League. We were winning promotion from League One. The year before that, we were 9th. The year before that, they were in the Premier League. They should, at this point of the journeys, have those better players. We're still probably 2-3 windows behind where they are in terms of the quality of player.
Oh, absolutely. And but we've got good structure. We've got belief. We're playing really well most of the time. It's a joy to watch. So 100%. I don't mean to be negative, because I'm not. I'm just stating the obvious, I suppose. In terms
you're
of
reacting to the game, Lee. You're reacting. To the game.
Well, the game. Yeah, but there is a broader picture to all that. 7 points still clear at this stage, and we've lost twice to Leeds. and we're still 7 points ahead of them. It's a long season to go. Leeds aren't going to win every game. Should we? I just feel sometimes that as well the game had that sort of feel like, oh well, we'll still be 7 points clear afterwards, even if we get beat. I'm not saying the players would have that, because I don't think they would go in, with that attitude. But I think there's probably fans thinking that, well, yeah, we're still 7 points, which obviously we are, but we've got to bounce back. And Matt was right. We've got to bounce back. We've not lost 2 games on the bounce under McKenna, but we're now playing the runaway league leaders, the champions elect. So we're going to have to be on our mettle. And interesting that he took Sam Morsey off.
Well, why? How is that? Why is that interesting to you? It's interesting to me because I expected it the moment they went 4-0 up. I thought that's when he goes off for me, and then they didn't. And he had a moment where he could have easily got a yellow card. We've seen referees give yellow cards for all sorts at this level. So why was it interesting for you that they took Morsey off?
Because he was, well, 2 things. One, it was the right thing, I suppose, because he was one nudge, anything away from a yellow card, and the referee, I thought, handled it quite well. I think the ref just saw he'd been done, and I don't think he was sort of late. He the guy just done him. But interesting that the one player who's first on the team sheet every week, I know it's 4-0, but it was interesting that he was looking at the next game and not, the game was gone. Would he have come off at 2-0? I don't know.
Oh no, definitely.
He sees the important game. But it was an interesting moment. Other games he would have had to stay on, but he wouldn't have come off against Norwich, would he?
Oh gosh, no.
If it was 2-2 against Leeds, he wouldn't have come off. So we'd sort of, I suppose we'd sort of thrown the towel in. I mean, 4-0. I mean, you keep playing. You've got to play for pride. You always play for the next goal. You've got, you have to. That's how you have to approach it. But but it was a telling sign. I think it shows how much McKenna puts on Morsey, how important he is to us as well. That's interesting in it as well. But today, although him and Luongo battled well, they were really up against it, and that might be not just down to being how they are individually, but I think it's as much to do with the shape that they were playing. There was no space in them for those little short passes. I think Matt mentioned it. We couldn't get those short passes going. There was no space to do that. There was no space the way they played it, and we couldn't get the ball out.
Tactically, they did really well, didn't they? Tactically, they did really well.
Yeah, it just seems every time they went forward, they had numbers, and every time we tried to get the ball in the box, there was like 7 or 8 of them against 2 or 3 of us. So tactically, it wasn't great. But yeah,
no, sadly not. But there we go. It's finished 4-0 to Leeds. We're still second at Christmas, although Christmas is probably cancelled now. Let's be honest. No. I am joking with that.
It was never on the agenda. I hate Christmas.
Do you really?
Yeah, the best thing about Christmas is when it's over.
Oh, the best thing about Christmas is the cheese board. Let's be honest.
Well,
especially for those on keto.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm off keto for Christmas, but I'll be back on it.
Good man.
Back on it.
Paul P. Twenzabi isn't the answer at the back of that showing. When Bo's off international duty, we look short. And Chris says, bring back 3 o'clock kickoffs. I couldn't agree more, Chris. But Leicester up next. We are live tomorrow at 1:30. Lee, before I let you go, your 3-word review, please, sir.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. Love it. Lee, as always, pleasure.
Cheers, everyone.
Look
Merry
after
Christmas.
yourself. Thank you for watching the Match Reaction Show. We are live tomorrow 1:30 with a further reaction. I am live on Talk TV tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Not quite sure what I'm going to say now, but I am live on the Mark Sager Sports Show, 8 p.m. Talk TV tomorrow night, a Christmas Eve. Have a great Christmas if you can't join us tomorrow at 1:30. But until then, Town have lost. We're 7 points clear in second. And it is what it is. We are partnered with Stowmarket Osteopaths. Head there for all your osteopath and physiotherapy needs. 01449 613 633. Stowmarket Osteopaths. Thanks for watching. Hit the like, subscribe. The office, really, wasn't it? Good night.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down, oh, and I get blue. I can't get enough. Oh, yes, love. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get from just the thought of you.